Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Thought and Perspective. Family Dr. Scott Jensen is here again. And Scott, I go to high schools and speak. 2020, that went away. I know that you've been on the board on schools. You're at the state level as well in education. You're not a senator any longer, but you're still involved. I'm concerned because I see a lot of different things that let me call it from a working class person, the upper hand of the government is swooping in and saying, all these small communities, you have to do it our way, and that's it. It's concerning. I have grandkids coming up.
It's a critical issue. It really is. I was on school board for 10 years, and I was on the higher ed committee in the Senate for 4 years. Had a chance to really dig into some of this. I am so tired of calling it education because, to me, education has become an industry. Typically, the discussion at the Capitol is what kind of a percentage increase are we going to provide education? We talk about the teachers union. It's Ed Minnesota. What if we pivoted and started talking about learning and the learners? I mean, who knows best how your child learns than a parent? When I talk to parents, what I'm struck by is that from literally birth to 5 years of age, that first 5 years is so critical. You can measure outcomes and make decent predictions based literally on how many books are in the home, that kind of a thing. So I think we have to honor the powerful impact that parents have on their kids' learning. Mm-hmm. But then at 5, the school system comes into play. What happens? A lot of times parents feel disenfranchised. That's not what we should be doing. If we really ask ourselves what should happen at 5, we should be saying to the parents, how can we help you now, based on all that you know about your child, how can we help you help your child to be a great learner? And to me, one of the first things that a parent would say is, I need to have some choice. My child does really well visually, or my child does just fine audio. My child does fine with screen time. But my child every hour needs to be able to get up and walk around or go out to recess and play for 10 minutes. Parents will know that. If we start giving parents some form of choice, what we're going to do is we're going to optimize the learning. And I think hand in hand with that goes those difficult, challenging situations where small children might fall through the cracks. Mm-hmm. And that would be another area that I would want to focus on is who are the learners that are at risk? I remember the day when Head Start started out as a program. We don't need to have public paid for preschool for every 3 to 5 year old. Yeah. But we do need to somehow detect as early as possible who's at risk. Mm-hmm. What 3 to 5 year olds could use some help? Because we would want government, if possible, to provide some sort of a safety net to help those kids get up to speed so that they're not constantly lagging, because you and I as parents and grandparents know that once the lagging starts, it's difficult to catch up. Yeah. So from my perspective, we got to quit talking about education and start talking more about learning. Mm-hmm. And we need to honor the parents' insight. Quit denigrating what the parents have to offer. I can sure understand why parents get ticked at public education. And then at the age of 5, let's do whatever we can to enhance parents' ability to give choice to their children, dependent upon what their children display in terms of optimal learning. And then let's also commit ourselves to trying to detect early those children at risk. To me, that's where we have to go in education.
I completely agree. And I think that there's so much from the state level, there's so much focus on the overall arching, like this has to work for every community.
And the cookie cutter approach.
Totally. Yep. You have to go in there. Yep. You're a surgeon.
You know? And every gallbladder isn't stuck in the same place. Exactly. So when I go into the belly, I don't do that anymore. But when I do, you better be willing to look here, and by the way, it could be back here by the appendix. Yes. You're right. Yes. One size does not fit all, and we got to stop that.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here again today.
Thank you, Matt.